All right, folks, listen up. We've got a situation brewing in the Gulf, and it's time to pay attention. Tropical Storm Beryl is making her way towards the Texas coast, and she ain't playing around. This storm's got meteorologists on their toes and coastal residents battening down the hatches. We're talking about potential for heavy rainfall, strong winds, and storm surge that could spell trouble for our coastal communities. The National Hurricane Center has been keeping a close eye on Beryl since she first formed out in the Atlantic. They've been working around the clock to give us the most up-to-date information. And let me tell you, it's crucial that we all stay informed and prepared as this situation develops. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to severe weather. While we need to take this storm seriously, there's no need to panic. We've weathered storms before, and we'll weather this one too. So, let's dive into what we know about Beryl and how we can best prepare for her arrival. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of where Beryl's headed. As of this morning, the storm is churning about 300 miles southeast of Galveston, Texas. It's moving northwest at about 10 miles per hour, with sustained winds of 70 miles per hour. The current forecast track has Beryl aimed right at the Texas coast, with the center expected to come ashore somewhere between Corpus Christi and Galveston. One thing to keep in mind is that the effects of Beryl will be felt well before the center makes landfall. We're already seeing increased wave action along the coast, and outer rain bands could start affecting the area as early as tomorrow afternoon. We're looking at the potential for 8 to 12 inches of rain in some areas, with isolated amounts up to 15 inches. All right, let's talk about what Beryl could mean for Texas, especially the Houston area. First off, we're looking at the potential for significant storm surge along the coast. We could see water levels 3 to 5 feet above normal in some areas, which could lead to coastal flooding and beach erosion. Inland areas, including Houston, could see some serious rainfall. With the ground already saturated from recent rains, this additional downpour could lead to widespread flooding. We're talking about the potential for street flooding, which could make travel dangerous or even impossible in some areas. Now let's talk about wind. While the strongest winds are likely to be right along the coast, Houston could still see gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Another concern is the potential for tornadoes. Tropical systems like Beryl can spawn quick-forming twisters, especially in their outer bands. Safety first. Preparing for the storm. All right, folks, now that we know what we're facing, let's talk about how to prepare. First things first. If you're in an evacuation zone and local officials give the order to leave, don't hesitate. Get out early to avoid traffic jams and dangerous conditions. Have your evacuation route planned in advance and make sure you have a full tank of gas. For those who aren't in evacuation zones, it's time to stock up on supplies. You'll want enough non-perishable food and water to last at least 3 days for each person in your household. Don't forget about your pets. Make sure you have enough food and supplies for them too. Other essential items include flashlights, batteries, a first aid kit, and any necessary medications. One of the most important things you can do is stay informed. Keep an eye on local news and weather reports for the latest updates on Beryl's progress and any emergency instructions. Now, I know some of y'all might be wondering why it seems like we're seeing more intense storms these days. Well, there's a reason for that, and it's tied to climate change. You see, as our planet warms up, it's changing the conditions that lead to tropical storms and hurricanes. Warmer ocean temperatures provide more energy for storms to feed off of. In the case of storms, this extra energy can lead to stronger winds and heavier rainfall. Another factor is sea level rise. As the planet warms, ice sheets and glaciers are melting, adding more water to our oceans. This means that when storms do come ashore, they're riding on top of already higher water levels. Climate change is also affecting the patterns of where and when storms form. All right, folks, I know we've covered a lot of serious ground here, but I want to end on a note of hope and resilience. Because if there's one thing I know about Texans and Americans in general, it's that we don't back down from a challenge. We've faced storms before and we'll face them again. It's not about if we'll get through this, but how we'll get through it together. By taking the necessary precautions and staying informed, we're already putting ourselves in a better position to weather this storm. And let's not forget about the incredible first responders and emergency management teams who are working tirelessly to keep us safe. One of the most inspiring things I've seen time and time again during natural disasters is how communities come together. Neighbors helping neighbors, strangers offering a helping hand to those in need. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, this too shall pass. We've got this, y'all.